Over the past 5 years, I have turned my skills, my knowledge into multiple different streams of income. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over every single last thing that I did and how easy it was to make money with these things and how hard it was in my opinion. Okay, so the first thing is memberships. So that's basically where people pay monthly to get content from you. There's usually some sort of like community aspect involved, but basically they're paying a monthly fee to be held into a container to get access to like community templates, educational material. It can be anything, right? So I tried that for about a year. Here's what I liked and here's what I didn't like about it. I did like that it was recurring revenue, so I didn't start every month at zero. I did like that people could ascend from the membership. So even though they started in the membership, it did open the door for like sort of like done for you work or sort of like higher earning projects. What I didn't like about the membership was that I had to sort of like find ways to promote it every single month, and that I promised that there would be something sort of like a new sort of like topic call in there every single month. And also what I didn't like about it was I don't think I had specifically like the numbers. So originally I was going to do like calls like every week in my membership, but I don't think I had like the number of people that would have like made that feature make sense. So yeah, and then on top of that, I had to show up like every week, and I didn't like having to show up at the same time every single week. So, um, yeah, I just disbanded it, and I didn't want to do it anymore. Would I do it again? I actually probably would, but it would be in a different way, and I don't think I would want to have to show up at the same time every single week. I think that was the main part that I kind of really didn't like. But I could always just like remove that feature. Okay, so is it beginner friendly? Not really. If you don't have the traffic to sort of like get people in the door and you don't have a way to consistently, get people in, it's going to feel like you're starting from zero every month, even though you're not. And it's going to be a little bit harder. The next thing is courses. So this is basically like one topic, a bunch of course content, educational content packaged into one course that people can sort of like purchase. So I've created like 2 or 3 courses. I actually do like them. What I like about them is that I can sort of like create them one time and then I can literally sell it over and over and over again. And it's honestly, with my courses, I always forget that I have them, which is so bad. So I forget to talk about the courses. So I have an editing course, and then I have sort of like a mini YouTube course with my YouTube makeover training in it. But I literally always forget to mention it. So that is my bad, and I could definitely do better at that. But when I do remember, I'm like, oh, okay, well, this week I can remind people that I have this course. So that's the best part about that. And honestly, I think the course is like so good. So like my Edit Like a Savvy Pro course, it literally walks you through every single thing in my process of like editing and like everything you need to know about CapCut. So yeah, it's just a great resource to refer to people when, you know, I'm not the one that's actually editing their videos and they just kind of want to learn how to do it themselves. By the way, I always recommend that people learn how to edit first before outsourcing it, because then you know the process and sort of like what you want. So is this beginner friendly? Yes, I think it is beginner friendly, but I think that before you make a course, unless you already know that it's going to sell and it's something that you want to sell for a very long time, I don't think you should create all the course materials at once. I think you should pre-launch it and gauge whether people are interested in it or not. And then I think that if people are interested, then you should continue with the course. But if you're not sure whether or not people want the course, whether it's going to sell, I don't think you should create it. I think you should gauge interest first and get people to put down some sort of like prepayment and then sell the course. So the next thing is done for you services, so project based and retainers. This is like, I want to say, the bulk of my money throughout the years. This is like my bread and butter. So video editing, videography. At one point I did like social media management, website design. I don't do that anymore. But yeah, this is like, if you have a skill, this is probably the easiest way to get paid for it. There is always going to be someone who don't want to do it themselves, and they just want somebody to do it for them. This one has one of the higher income potential. The thing about this though is you have to like continuously learn. You kind of have to like continuously upskill with done for you work. So you're making sure that like, you know, like what the latest skills are in that space. So like, for example, with like video editing, constantly having to upskill, because again, there's like always someone that's going to be better than you in that space. And then also, in order to not be like commoditized and like compared to a lot of other people, what you're actually going to have to do is you're going to have to upskill and like learn like skills that's like close to that skill. So for example, I started with video editing, but I would also learn like marketing, and I would learn YouTube strategy, video strategy. So I wouldn't be commoditized, and people would be like, okay, you're just like another video editor. That is like the most annoying thing that anybody can like extra hear. Like you're only just that. You're only just that one thing that you do. So is it beginner friendly? Yes, I do think done for you services are beginner friendly. If you could do it for yourself, then you can also do it for other people. It's just the only thing about done for you services is like the time aspect. So you can only take on so much work without either diluting other people, sort of like the product of what you're giving to other people, or either just like completely just like burning out because you have like so much work. So that's the only downside to that. So the next thing is coaching. So this is basically getting paid for like your guidance, your frameworks, your opinions, usually in a talking situation. So coaching has become one of my favorite income streams and one of my favorite ways to get paid. And honestly, it was very easy for me to transition from done for you services to coaching, because I've done it. So like I've done a lot of work for people. So just literally telling them like how I do things step by step, and then also like giving them resources, giving them other videos and resources like that to show them how to do it on their own. And then what I'm also finding is that since people are learning how to do it on their own, they're able to actually do it much faster than I would have been able to do it, because they have more time than me to do it and to get it done. So the only thing with this is you need to actually be able to coach from like your brain and your frameworks and your ideas. Like if you're pulling up AI and coaching with AI, I feel like unless you're coaching people on how to use AI, you should not be using AI in your answer when you're coaching people. Because I've seen that. I've literally like invested into coaching and they pull up AI to help me answer the questions, and I'm like, that would be good in like some cases, but if I'm paying you for coaching, then I'm paying for like your opinions to come from your brain, not AI, if that makes sense. I don't know, it might just be me. Let me know in the comments. Like if someone pulled up an AI chat box to answer your question while you paid them to be on a coaching call, like how would you feel? So yeah, it's best for people with like experience in a given area and like also a repeatable process that they can tell people about. Is it beginner friendly? I think it is a little bit easier to get started because you just need like a way to talk to people, so that could be Zoom or Google Meet, and a way to get paid, and that's how you can start coaching. But I don't think it's beginner friendly in like, in the sense of anybody can do it. Like, you do actually have to know what you're talking about with coaching. So the next thing is platform monetization. So I've been paid by Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Instagram and Facebook, not as much anymore because I don't post on there, but I can talk about YouTube. So I think, so getting up to the point where you actually get paid from a platform, that in itself is not easy. You have to put in a lot of work to actually, reach the thresholds in which these platforms are willing to pay you out. So, for example, with YouTube, you need like 1,000 subscribers and 400 watch time hours. With Facebook, there's like certain requirements that you have to hit before you get paid out for that. With Instagram, they want to know that you have like a certain amount of not subscribers. They want to know that you have a certain amount of followers and a certain amount of views that you're getting per reel. So the work up to that is not easy at all, and you're gonna have to post a lot. But once you actually do get in the programs, it's kind of like passive money. I think platform monetization is one of the most passive ways to get paid. Like courses, I don't think they're actually passive when people say that courses are passive income. You have to actively promote those. But platform monetization, if you were going to post the content anyway, I think that is actually very passive. So, for example, I'm on the YouTube partner program. I don't pay attention to what's going on over there in the back end, but I know that every single video that I post, it's going to make at least a little bit of money. So I don't know, I compare it to like stocks in a sense, because stock is like, you just put money in there, you just watch it grow. But with platform monetization, you just post content that you are already going to be posting anyway, and you're just kind of just getting money on the back end. The next one is affiliate marketing. So this is basically earning a commission when someone buys something using a link that you showed them. So again, this one is actually very passive. So this one is kind of similar to like the platform monetization. I guess you could put more effort into affiliate marketing, but the thing about affiliate marketing is you just have to put effort into making your links be seen. That's the only thing about affiliate marketing. So, for example, what I do is like I have a page on my website that shows all like my programs and my courses, and then at the very bottom I have the affiliate links to the tools that I use. I also might put it at like the bottom of a footer. And in my coaching program, what I will also do is I will recommend the tools that I'm using to my clients. They're going to have to use the tools anyway, because it's kind of like what I'm teaching them on. So just having an affiliate link and just sharing that with them and letting them know like, hey, I might get a small commission if you choose to use this software. No one usually cares about that part. But yeah, that has been something more recently that I've been building up. And again, just by making your affiliate links like slightly more visible, you'll get more people to buy it. Seventh thing is a paid strategy call. So this is basically literally like a one-off call where someone, they don't want to commit to full-on coaching yet or a full-on done-for-you project yet. They just have like a bunch of questions. Now, some people, they just flat out make this paid strategy call, maybe like the first call that people have to get on before talking to them. So I actually recommend it. Like one of my travel agent clients do this. She said she was getting like a ton of unserious people on her discovery calls. So I was like, well, if that's the case, then just make it paid. If they're gonna waste your time, you might as well make the call paid. So that was my advice to her. But it can also be used in other ways as well. So if you're not sure if you want to do coaching yet, or you just simply have like a lot of inquiries of people just asking to pick your brain, literally you can do a one-off call where you just simply do a call, put a price on it, and get paid for sharing your information. Now, Calendly makes this really easy. I think Tidy Cow does it as well. But yeah, this is another way that I have gotten paid throughout the years. Number 8 is templates. So this is literally like spreadsheets, social media templates, documents where people can take your framework and put in their information. It's typically like a lower price, so maybe like, I don't know, I've seen templates priced anywhere from like all the way up to $150, but $150 is like on the high end of like really specific, really thought out templates. But on the lower end, they can be anywhere from like $5 to $40. But again, it's like literally using the same exact system that you use. So this is good for like people in the social media space, or like people in the financial space. Maybe you have a spreadsheet that you use every single week. You know, those are like templates that you can use. I remember when I first got started, that was actually it was like actually my first kind of like digital products was templates. It had nothing to do with YouTube actually, but I had created these Instagram highlight covers and I had put them on Etsy, and then I promoted them on Instagram and I promoted them on Pinterest, and then I had some Pinterest pins go viral, and yeah, I was getting sales like daily from Pinterest. It was really cool. And then someone like went in and like deleted the Pinterest pin. I don't know how. But yeah, that was an example of a template. The next thing is a ebook or a guide. So this is basically like a written resource that teaches or walks someone through a specific problem. Now, sometimes people use these as like lead magnets or things like or a lead magnet is something that you use to get people's email addresses. They can be short, they can be long, but people do actually still pay for ebooks. I pay for them all the time. Like, for example, when I'm traveling, sometimes I don't want to look up an itinerary. So I'll just maybe I'll be on YouTube and they're selling like their guide to navigate a new city or their guide to navigate a new country, and like what's the type of like places that I can visit and stuff like that. So basically, ebooks are shortening the research phase of what you would have had to do if you would have just looked for the information on your own. So that's why people typically buy ebooks. So yeah, those are my experiences with the different income streams and all of the ones that I've had in the past 5 years. So remember, if you're building a new one or trying to expand into another one, just remember like the key thing here and biggest issue that people have with setting up a new income stream, especially like one of these, is often like visibility. Simply enough people don't know that you have the thing, or they don't know about you to actually get the specific thing from you. YouTube is personally my favorite visibility engine because you can literally sell all of these at one time, or you can have a backlog of content that sells specific things in specific seasons. And you know, since videos on YouTube don't technically expire, they can still be found in search, they can still be found through AI platforms. You know, people can still find these things and you can remain visible on YouTube. Now, I have a bunch of videos here on YouTube that talks about how YouTube work, YouTube strategy. But if you want a simple plan on how you can use YouTube to create a new income stream or get visibility on an existing one, then you can go ahead and check out my links below in the description box.